Hi everybody, welcome back to another Sakura Succubus 6, and please don't forget to support this channel by subscribing, liking, commenting, or sharing with your friends and loved ones. Other than that, let's get back to the game. Are you sure you're not just saying that? I frown. Maybe the adrenaline from the tournament's gone to your head. It's addled you. There's no way I would ever look good in a skirt. And even if, on the very unlikely off chance, a pleated tennis skirt did suit me, I don't know if I'd feel wholly comfortable wearing one. I'm pretty tall and I have an awful lot of leg. I wouldn't want to put my thighs on display like that. Besides, if my mother ever got wind of these proclivities of mine, she'd burst. Furiously, no cap. Well, I was going to say disinherit me, but after learning how A-okay she was at the prospect of me being gay, maybe I'm jumping the gun. For all I know, my mother might be totally fine with me wearing skirts. She's more open-minded than I thought. Well, we'll just have to see about that. Hehe. Don't tell me you want to put me in a skirt one of these days. It'd be an interesting experiment, I guess. Yeah, I figured she'd say something like that. Sigh. As much as I like the attention, I can't say I want to be thought of a dress-up doll or indeed a dress-up darling. I'd rather be Hazel's wingman or heck even Ayu's cameraman. But maybe we can leave it for now. Hehe. Did I close the windows? Some of you might be asking, why are you closing the windows, Sleepy? What you hiding? No, it kind of lessens the noise of me speaking. You know, if we were outside. That sounds like a good idea, yeah. And I do record at night or at early mornings if I can wake up early, yeah. The world isn't ready for the sight of my bare thighs just yet. Sorry, universe, for robbing you of something so scintillating. Hey, Hazel. Pretty sure I butchered the word like I just said. I shiver as another gust of wind hits me. Maybe we should go back indoors soon. I think it's getting even chillier. Just a second, I've not had my fill of the great outdoors just yet. No? I frowned and fished my phone out of my pocket. A quick glance tells me it's 23:48, almost midnight. If this was Cinderella, I'd be desperately shooing Hazel away from the palace before the magic can wear off and her clothes can turn back into rags. Not that Hazel's wearing a dress or a pair of crystal slippers. I don't think they'd really suit her. Hazel's pretty, but she's not a girly girl, not like Stephania. It's getting late though, aren't you tired? As if I can sleep after everything that happened today. I'm like way too keyed up. I need to work out some of this nervous energy before I go back inside, else I'll explode. Explode, huh? I frown. That sounds serious. It is serious. That's why you gotta stay with me, Hiroki, all through the night so I don't go crazy. I need somebody to talk to. I just want to cut loose and have some fun. I'm a free spirit, gosh darn it, and I can't be constrained. I think you might be a bit too free if you ask me. I murmur under my breath, more for my benefit than Hazel's. I still think she could stand to give underwear a fair shot every once in a while as Hazel darts off. She flits through the garden, examining some of the night blossoming plants that fill the flower beds before coming to a pause by the water fountain. Ooh, this is so pretty! Hazel eyes the fountain approvingly, then after a pause steps upon the stone wall which fringes it. She stands before the streaming water, her hands on her hips, and laughs triumphantly. I'm so high up now, I feel like the queen of the world. Right now, I think I could do almost anything. I'm sure you could, if by almost anything you mean catch a cold. I shiver as yet another unforgiving gust of wind buffets me. I can't bring myself to approach the perimeter of the fountain like Hazel has. The sound of the water drumming against a stone basin is enough to make my blood turn cold. If the air is this frigid, the water must be colder still. Yeah, it is winter, especially, well now, yeah. I think you should step away from the fountain. What if you fall in? Oh, I'll be fine. Don't fuss so much, Hiroki. How can I help but fuss? You're acting like an excitable toddler. I feel like I need to keep an eye on you for your own sake. Well, geez, I don't know if I should find your concern touching or mildly annoying. Hazel beams. But like I said, it'll be fine. I know what I'm doing. You saw me playing against Vitolina, right? Right? And you should know that my reflexes are second to none. I'm lithe and athletic and super limber too. I'm not so clumsy I'd lose my footing, hahaha. But of course, contrary to Hazel's reassurances, she jinxes herself. Hazel! Her laughter is far too raucous, and in the end, she does just what she said she wouldn't. Her sneaker-clad foot slips on the stone rim of the fountain and she falls. Her body arcs backwards, backlit by the moonlight, and then... splash! With an almighty burst of noise that tears through the stillness of the night, Hazel tumbles into the fountain. Droplets of crystalline water scatter in the wake of Hazel's tumble, all shimmering prismatic rainbow colors. I start forwards alarmed, my eyes wide. What if Hazel's cracked her head against the basin of the fountain? She could be in real pain for all I know. That looked like a nasty fall, and it sounded like one too. Hazel! Hey Hazel! I call Hazel's name, my voice constrained with concern, but... oh wow, she's fine, homie. She fine as hell, if you know what I'm saying. Blah. I can see Hazel sitting upright in the basin of the fountain, one hand pressed to her head. Locks of her hair stick wetly to her cheeks, and even more droplets sluice down her cheeks, the taut planes of her exposed stomach. Hazel spits out mouthfuls of water into the fountain, then a dazed expression on her face observes me. She smiles coyly and says, I wouldn't recommend the water in here, Roki. It tastes gross, kinda like something's been swimming around in it. I don't know if it's the best for human consumption or succubus consumption for that matter. It's kinda nasty. Well, I figured as much. The water in this fountain isn't supposed to be drunk. It's supposed to be observed. I can see that now. That's my lesson learned, I suppose. And it's not for swimming in either. I survey Hazel impassively, my arms folded. Now I've gathered Hazel's alright. Despite her tumble, her head doesn't appear to be split open, and she's smiling. I feel a little more inclined to scold her. Why didn't you listen to me? I knew something like this was going to happen the moment you got so close to the fountain. Why indeed? I guess I'm kinda a dummy? A dummy thick girl? Real dummy. Jeez, do you think? Okay, Mr. Grumpy Pants. I guess I really must be a dummy to lose my footing like that. It's a little too late for regrets now, though. Please go easy on me. I'm not about to get on your case. I'll save that for later when Hazel isn't quite so waterlogged. But you're going to try being more careful next time, sorry. But you're going to try being more careful in the future. Sorry I said that sentence or phrase 3 times. I think I'm being plenty reasonable, but Hazel doesn't seem to agree. She pouts, one hand still pressed against her head. Careful, but that's so boring. I'd rather live my life to its fullest. And does living life to its fullest entail falling in a fountain and getting soaked to the bone? Well, maybe. It's a new experience at least. I can't say I've ever taken a dip in the palace's fountain before. I don't think most people would want to say they've done that. It's not a bragging right. Oh, I don't know. I like new experiences. They keep me young. So you say, but it really is cold tonight. Aren't you worried about catching a cold? A cold? Me? Hazel grins. I'll be just fine, don't you worry. Idiots don't catch colds. So she admits she's an idiot. I guess it's good she's aware of her shortcomings. Though this admittance won't help dry her out any more quickly. Besides, though the water's cold, it's actually kinda refreshing. Is it? Oh yeah, I feel it's cleared all the cobwebs clean out of my head. I feel like I've been reborn as a brand new woman. Or something? An ice bath, cold water. Or an ice bath. Or an ice cold water bath? I think it's just an ice bath, pretty much. Do you want to join me in the fountain? It really ain't that bad in here, and there's room for 2. We could get all up close and personal, hehe. Normally, I wouldn't balk at an invitation to get up close and personal with Hazel, but I have a few doubts right now. First, I'm already freezing. I don't want to invite the cold to soak into my bones more deeply than it already has. Sorry, but I think I'll have to pass right now. Huh? But why? Aren't you excited to see me looking all damp? I just checked. We are recording. I'd be more excited if my teeth weren't chattering now. We're chattering right now. We really should go back indoors. Hazel might be confident that she's immune from catching colds, but I'm less than convinced. Oh, alright, fine. I guess I can come back inside with you if you're that worried about me. I am worried, and so should you be. Oh yeah, you're a sporting star, so you need to look after your body. I know that, but geez. Hazel rolls her eyes. I'll be totally fine. You're getting like way too worked up. I'm way tougher than you might think. In fact, I'm having a bunch of fun. You like languishing in a fountain? It's something to do at least, and don't say I'm languishing. I'm not the sort. I know I'm not scared like Marina, but I can look after myself. I'm a strong, independent woman, Hiroki, and you don't get colds, you'll see. I'm stronger than any germs out there. They can do their worst, but they won't be able to lay a finger on me. Ah ha ha ha! She sure sounds positive, but I'm a little more pessimistic. Sure, whatever you say. I sigh. Just don't blame me if you get sick, you dummy. The next day... Achoo! Oh dear me, that was quite the sneeze. Are you alright, Hazel dear? She'd be fine if she hadn't decided to take a dip in the fountain. I sigh while massaging my temple with my fingertips. I did think last night after Hazel's sojourn in the fountain that this might happen despite her protest to the contrary. Hazel reassured me that idiots don't catch colds, which is a pretty popular aphorism, but Hazel isn't as stupid as she lets on. She's pretty canny in actual fact, and she's good at reading her opponents when she plays tennis. She wasn't smart enough, however, to predict that she would, after getting so, catch a cold. I could say I told you so, but that'd be a bit of a jerk move, especially when Hazel looks so shamefaced. I guess I let her off the hook, although you should be more careful. You might be a succubus, but you're not immune from getting sick. Hazel giggles coyly while pressing the tips of her fingers together. Now you sound like Hifumi. Is that a bad thing? Not really, I guess. It's just kinda funny is all. I don't know you were so maternal, Hiroki, or that you cared so much. Of course I care about you. You're important to me. Important? Huh? Hazel dips her head, her face flushing, which is rare for her. True, she is. It's rare for her to be embarrassed and shy and, blushing. She doesn't often blush. I thought Hazel was immune to shame given her fondness for going commando, but maybe not. Having a cold must have lowered her defenses. That or her face was flushed already owing to her fever. Maybe it's a bit of column A and a bit of column B? Hazel isn't so unwell she can't sit up in bed, but she looks worse for wear. She doesn't even have the energy to assume her human form, so she's clad in the attire of a succubus right now. So yeah, I forgot about that they need actually physically, or rather they use their stamina to maintain their human form or attire. Which then I guess in a sense they're not really wearing human clothes? I don't know, it's weird. Magic weird. Her horns are protruding from her scalp and her tail is twitching against the sheets. Hifumi meanwhile is kneeling behind Hazel on the bed while wiping her back down with a sponge. Since Hazel's sick, she's a little sweaty. Her toned skin, a lot of which is on display, is damp and slick. Her hair freed from its usual ponytail hanging loosely about her shoulders. She looks more girlish somehow than usual and less energetic, more vulnerable maybe? It's quite sweet in a way, at least it would be if I wasn't so worried about her. You're quite the charmer, Hiroki. You really know how to make a girl's heart flutter. Well, thanks. I'm not trying to woo you though, not while you're sick. I'm just being honest. I really do care for you and I don't like to see you so run down. You don't? No, I prefer your energetic self. Well, I'll be. Hazel giggles. I thought you might be into the whole delicate shtick. I know some girls too think I'm too much of a handful. They say I'm hard to deal with. Even Yuriko got to my case from time to time, and she was crazy about me. Didn't it bug you too when I asked you to go jogging with me super early in the morning? It bothered me a bit, yeah. I knew it. But seeing you having fun made me happy. In a self-defeating kind of way, I guess. It's so rare to see you laid up in bed, it's kind of alarming, even if the peace and quiet might be appreciated from time to time. I never be happy at you being ill, though that's why I want you to hurry up and get better. And she shall, if she listens to me and gets plenty of rest. Now would you lift your arms up, Hazel, dear, so I can sponge them down? Right, sure thing, Mommy. Mommy? Mommy. Hifumi smiles amused. I am unsure how to feel about that. I'm hardly old enough to be your mother, Hazel, though I suppose I do enjoy doting upon you. It is rather diverting. But I'm glad you're having fun, even if it is at my expense. Oh, you know me. I like to be of service. I know. That's why I asked you to look after Hazel rather than Marina. Ah, Marina. Hazel shivers. I find her hard enough to deal with as it is, let alone when I'm coughing. I'm more than happy to keep my distance from her. I doubt she would want to risk catching your germs either. Hey, good point. She's like such a neat freak. The inside of her apartment is so pristine it kinda scares me. Cough cough. Dear me. Hifumi tuts while continuing to wipe down the sweat from Hazel's flustered skin. Perhaps you ought to talk less, dear. You'll only make yourself cough. Once I finish wiping you down, would you like to take a nap? I think you could use some sleep. That might be a good idea, actually. I wouldn't want to tax myself. That'd only make you and Hiroki worry. You're both such fusspots. We only fuss because we care. Indeed, I'm just glad you only caught the common cold. It's been so frigid lately. It's a good thing you didn't get pneumonia. I guess I got lucky. And now Hazel's back to coughing. Her shoulders convulse from the strains of it and her face looks pretty flustered. You poor thing. Hifumi sighs. Just try to take it easy. Know that as long as I am here, you will be in safe hands. I would never let one of my cute succubus siblings get hurt. And I don't want to see you get hurt either, which means from now on, there'll be no more diving into fountains. Am I making myself plain? I get it. Hazel smiles abashed. I'll be on my best behavior from now on, so don't worry. And Hazel looks between Hifumi and I while toying with a strand of her hair, then says, "Thanks for looking out for me, even if I'm a dummy thick girl. I really do appreciate it. You're the bestest pals a gal could have." Aww. Time passes and in a few scant days, Hazel makes a full recovery. She was coughing a lot but she looks just fine now, as upbeat and energetic as ever before. I guess succubi are made of strong stuff. As the days go by almost in a blur, my penultimate days in Astoria eventually arrives. With my inevitable return to Japan looming on the horizon, Stephania decides to set her plans into motion, namely her televised karuta competition with Hifumi. Elizabeth spends the day preparing the parlor in anticipation of the camera crew who will be arriving. She dusts and polishes, mops and waxes, and in short does all she can to ensure every single surface is sparkling. Once the party has been prepared, the karuta cards for Stephania and Hifumi's ultimate showdown are arranged thus so upon the carpet. Is this where their alleged final fight or crazy fight, or rather a test? I don't know. The camera crew arrive around 18:30 to film these proceedings. When they arrive, Hifumi and Stephania have already taken their positions in the parlor, both facing the other from across their respective play areas. Hifumi is attired as per usual in her elegant kimono. Her dark straight hair cascades about her shoulders like a waterfall, and upon her face is painted a small, tranquil smile, or tranquil. Stephania, for her part, looks similarly well groomed. She's attired in the dark blue gown she often wears while gadding about the palace, her blonde hair fixed back in two loose ponytails. Stephania's green eyes are bright and alert, and when the camera crew arrives, she turns to greet them thus. "Thank you very much, everybody, for agreeing to this whim of mine. Are the cameras rolling?" "They are now, Your Majesty. We won't want to miss a single second of your performance." "Splendid!" Stephania beams and addresses the face's masses directly, her gaze trained unflinchingly upon the staring lens of the camera. "Greetings, people of Astoria. I am Stephania Sophia Maria Isabella of Astoria, your humble princess. Though I know this is awfully short notice, I hope you delight in watching my karuta competition with the reigning queen Yamamoto Hifumi." Miss Yamamoto has come all the way from Japan to play against me. She is a very busy woman, but she was considerate enough to set aside a good deal of time for my sake, and for that I can only thank her. Oh, don't mention it. I'm happy to be here. A smiling Hifumi waves at the camera. Hello, citizens of Astoria. Like Stephania said, I hope you enjoyed the spectacle and subscribe to Sleepy Boy. Watch his other videos, like, comment, share on this one, and he'll be seeing you, and I'll be seeing you to be exact, on the next episode of SakuraSuccubus. Stay safe, good luck on whatever you're doing, good night, something, everybody. Bye!